everybody. The reason I'm way back here is and I don't usually do full bodies, just not my thing. But today I am doing a video about tools to keep you safe. Now, I want you to look at me. I'm going to try and get back here as far as I can so you can see all me. I am concealing. Yes, I am. I have a 380 Ruger. I have named Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim is in a holster. And I want to know, can you see Tiny Tim? Turn around. I'm trying really hard to show you my whole body here. I've never done this quite. So we're going to do a mini series about things that I did to keep myself as safe as possible while being out alone, boondocking, not even having to be alone. I had issues even in crowds. So today I'm going to start a mini series, and I'm going to tell you about each and every issue that I came across. But the first video, this very first one, are tools and tricks that I used to keep me safe. So once again, I know this is awful close up and you can't see my legs, but can you see my weapon? Okay, I'll be right back. Hi, girl's back. So, my first thing, and in light of what just happened at that high school, I get it. I get that some young kid, quack, got a hold of family guns and destroyed a whole bunch of lives. I get that. I also get what kind of gun it was. Am I going to show you my gun? Absolutely not. I don't show anybody my guns, and I'm going to tell you why. You don't ever show anybody your weapon, ever. The only time anybody should ever see your gun is if you're going to pull that trigger. You don't pull it unless you're going to pull the trigger. I learned that in a class that I had to take in Nevada, a concealed carry class. And even though here in Arizona you can pack a gun on your hip, and sometimes I carry my gun on my hip, or you can conceal. You don't need a license. People here, you don't want to mess with Arizonans. You don't know if they got a gun in their bra, in their pants, in their back, on their chest. People here can conceal a weapon legally, and you just don't start fights. So, with that being said, if I were you, and you are a single female, and probably you men too, I would for sure buy a gun. Make sure you do the reviews, and then I want you to take a course, a conceal course. Now, it's not required in the state of Arizona, but I was raised with guns. I was shooting rabbits at 5, rattlesnakes at 5. I was raised with guns. My children were raised with guns, and I'm not just talking handguns. I'm talking rifles and shotguns, and yeah, my kids are hunters. If anything ever happens, will be able to feed themselves as I will. But having a gun is a big responsibility, but it is also your best form of defense. This isn't something you pull out just because somebody is messing with your rig. Now, if they're trying to get in, that's a whole nother story, and we'll talk about that. But you do not pull your gun unless you intend to pull the trigger. Don't show strangers your guns. Don't show strangers your bear mace. Don't show strangers anything that you use to defend yourself. That's just giving them a warning. And you want to keep them in the element of surprise, just like they had you in the element of surprise. And with that being said, there are tons of weapons. I'm a firm believer in equalizers. I believe in mace. I believe in clubs. I believe in knives and guns. Anything to keep my person safe. And with the stories that are going to follow this video, you guys are going to understand that it is in the utmost importance that you have something in your home, in your truck, in your RV, in your van, that if it comes down to them or you will be able to get away with your life. Be it mace, be it a pit bull, whatever. So this video, to start out a little mini series about the dangers and of personal harm and creepers. I hate creepers, man. I gotta tell you, I hate creepers. Anyhow, so with that being said, I'm going to tell you some of the things I did to give the impression that I wasn't alone. First thing I did is I always had 2-3 chairs set up outside my rig. The second thing is I went to a thrift store and I bought a pair of sandals, men's, and a pair of men's tennis shoes. Mind you, get the same size. You can't have a size 9 sandal and a 12 tennis shoe. They will know. I would rotate those shoes every day. In a different spot, in a different way. I would make them look like I had just kicked them off. Sometimes they'd be beside mine, sometimes not. The chairs were always moved. There was always an empty drink left by my mate's chair. Sometimes there wasn't. Sometimes the ashtray was by his chair. I would get up in the morning, make my coffee. Speaking of coffee, I would get up in the morning, make me a cup of coffee. If I knew people were outside, I would go outside and start tending, take my dog Chloe out. And I would yell inside the rig, "Honey, make me a cup of coffee, please." Now, I also had handicap equipment. I'm handicapped. I know, y'all don't believe it, but I'm very handicapped. And one day I'll go into it. But my camp working job is sitting on my butt waving at people. That's how handicapped I am. But anyhow, so I would yell, "Honey, will you make me a cup of coffee?" Now, I had already made that coffee before I went out. And all I would simply do would be reach in off the counter and grab my cup of coffee and say on my way out the door, "Thank you, babe." Now, I would yell in and go, "Honey, will you feed Chloe?" Well, the fact was, when I was in there, I fed her. Or I'd be pulling out the generator and yell out, "God, I wish you were capable of helping me with this." If I approached somebody for help, it would be, "My husband's handicapped. Could you please help me load this?" Or, "Could you help me over here for a minute?" So, yes, that's lies, but it gives the impression that you are not alone. Yet, they're going to see you outside that rig all by yourself all the time. But if they have the impression that your mate is inside handicapped to some degree, they don't know because you're not going to let them in. They won't think that you're a single female. Which brings me to another point. Never, 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 never let anyone, not male or female, in your rig. Now, we all like those videos where old Bob gives us a tour of everybody's house. And you know what? I like to see what people have done to their homes and in the interior. I've even showed you the interior of my home. But you've never been in there physically. If you came into my house physically, you would know where the bear mace sits. You might even see a gun on the table or a club in a corner. I love bats. But the point is I don't want anybody to see the setup of my house. Because if they don't know my setup, they might try to get in a window that's not accessible. Like my old rig, the window on the TV in front of that one window, that was inaccessible for anybody coming in that window. But everybody outside did not know that because nobody had ever been in my rig. So don't let anybody in your rig, ever. Now, I didn't watch the videos, but I recently seen somebody doing videos about boondocking with pets. I don't know what they said. I don't really care. I'm telling you that one of the best things that you can have as a solo female or male is a dog. Cats don't do much. Sorry, cat lovers. A cat's not really protection. And it don't even have to be a big dog. It can be a little yip-yip dog. Anything to give you warning and to let them know that you know. Because ultimate surprise is their game. If they can surprise you, they've got the upper hand. An animal will not let you be surprised. Bottom line. Now, I would love a pit bull. I used to breed them. But the fact is, breed restrictions are so bad that had I got a pit bull, the minute I came here or to the other place to camp work, I could not have my dog. I refuse to get rid of a dog for a job. So I keep it real. Chloe was a border collie mix. Chloe never barked, ever. I never heard that dog bark. She growled once. I'll tell you that story. But Chloe would just get anxious if something or somebody was outside our rig. And the thing is when you have a dog like Chloe chained outside, Chloe ran away. I couldn't just let her run the hills like I wanted. But for Chloe to be outside, she had a 30-foot leash that she could just roam all around. Well, somebody sees something Chloe size, they tend to stay away. They don't know if your dog is aggressive or not. And when people come to your rig, do not let them interact with your animals. Don't let them get close to your dog. Don't let your dog get to know them. The fact is somebody who can be smiling in your face can be planning to hurt you that night. And we don't know as humans. We get vibes. I get vibes. You get vibes. But I got to tell you, in my stories, you're going to see how one person fooled me right up until I took my first camp working job. I even got him a job with me. That's when I found out it had been him. But don't let anybody near your dog. If your dog is there, put your dog inside. If your dog's on a chain, tell them, please don't talk to my dog. Please don't approach my dog. Tell them straight out, my dog bites. I don't care if you become friends with them or not. Tell them, my dog bites, and never way away from it. Because I have to tell you, crazies have a way of getting you to trust them. They have a way of getting you to think that they're normal. They'll take you places, they'll just drop by for coffee. There will be no outward signs. And when you find out it's them, you go, oh my God, I would have never guessed. And I have a good example of that. But let nobody, I mean nobody, get close to your dog. Period. If you want a cat, that's all good. Keep him in the house. But the cat is not going to alert you to anything. Nothing. Okay, my next thing is I had mentioned in my last video, drink, it's early in the morning. I had mentioned in my last video how every night I walked the outside of my rig. Yes, I did. And I noticed and made sure everything was put up that needed to be put up, everything was tied down that needed to be tied down, and footprints and scat. Now, what I didn't tell you was the first thing I did in the morning was I took my cup of coffee and I walked my rig again. You will be surprised is all I gotta say. You'll be surprised. You can find new footprints, new animal prints, scat. You can find all kinds of stuff. But you will know where they were, especially you will have heard them. You would have heard, you would have woke up and heard. And it will just tell you, yep, you were right. I've had water caps stolen in the middle of the night. I had to empty all my tanks and refill them. I'm telling you, crazies. Even if you're in a tribe. When my water cap was stolen, I was in a tribe. When I tell you some of my stories, I was in a tribe, okay? It is so important that you remember safety, 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 safety. I don't care how many videos Mr. Bob puts out saying, "Where do you feel safe?" Those women, they don't feel safe. If they are out by themselves, trust me, they don't feel safe. They either feel threatened by humans or threatened by animals. And why get on here and fib about it? I don't get it. But maybe they're just dog ugly. No, sorry. My problem, I get hit on no matter where I'm at. I get hit on it. I could look the worst that I could not shower for weeks and I still get hit on. Now, it could just be me. it could just be me, but I think that every woman is at risk being out alone boondocking. And I think this because I went through it. I dealt with it. And it wasn't in just one place. It was in every place I camped. I had a guy on a motorcycle. I was coming in a place. He was leaving a place. He turned around behind me and followed me in. And not only followed me in, the minute I stopped, he was at my driver's door. I mean, I've got stories, you guys. Stories I never told. But you can be safe out there. You can make sure that you never fall prey or victim to nuts. Just saying. We know that there are crazies in every community. We know that. We know serial killers are nomadic. They go from state to state to state. They go in a circle. They say that they have a pattern and they travel the pattern constantly. We know this. So, women, men, get a gun. Learn the laws in every state you travel. Go to a concealed class. Learn your weapon. Learn how to clean it. Learn how to store it. Learn how to carry it. Put it on under your clothes. I can wear my gun in short shorts. I can wear my gun in a bathing suit. Just learn to handle that gun. It could be a matter of life and death. And you know what? Yeah, I got to tell you, there were a few times, one time I was being messed with in the middle of the night and I simply yelled out, I have a 380 and I have a 9mm. Which one do you want me to shoot you with? And he left. They left. Whoever it was left. But they didn't even stick around to find out if I was telling the truth. But if I had confronted them, unless I was gonna shoot them, they would have never seen my gun. There was a time. There was a time, you guys, and I will share the story, that I went out of my rig with my gun in my hand, and I was gonna shoot somebody. Yeah, I'm telling you, they sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you the real dangers. I'm going to keep it real. So I went over the animal. Always have a dog. Always have bear mace. Even the little mace. Because if you can mace them and then hit them, you've got the upper hand. The whole thing is about getting away. Getting to your driver's seat. Getting to your vehicle. Whatever it takes for you to get away. So if you want to carry mace and mace them, hit them, get in your seat and go. Whatever it takes for you to get to safety is what you have to think about. And you want to be warned, a dog. You want to detour them before they ever consider you a victim. Because trust me, you're stalked before they ever act on it. And that is a fact. So you don't want to appear to be a victim. When you're outside, you put your shoulders back, you put your head up, and you act like you know what you're doing, regardless if you know or not. Now, I've been in crowds with, I've been in tribes, let's just say, with a man who was 78 years old. He has been a nomad, 45 years of that. Nope, he's not on YouTube. He doesn't even watch YouTube. And he's not the only one. I had a tribe of 6. Nobody was on YouTube. And between all of them, they had 200 years of nomadic life between them. So you guys are going to meet some people who've been out there a while. They know the tricks. And this old guy told me simply, give them the illusion of. Hence, shoes. Calling out to a mate that is not there. Telling people, oh, my cousin's coming, my friend's coming. And I did have people show up. Family members, I had childhood friends come out to where I was boondocking and visit with me. They didn't know who left and who stayed. Eventually, they found out that I didn't have a handicapped husband inside my rig. But for the whole 30 days that I was out by myself, I made sure everybody had the illusion that I had a husband inside my rig. It's very scary, you guys. And before you ever hit the road, Decide in your mind what you're going to do for self-protection. The world is a crazy place. The people out there are mean. They care about nobody but themselves. You can see this on YouTube. You can see these YouTubers taking money from people that are just living a dream through them. It's the meanest form of using somebody to me. It just breaks my heart. They don't care about you. All they care about is getting your views and getting you out on the road. Do you know how many people from RTR last year to the RTR this year are new nomads? Over 2,000. There's some nuts in that group, guys. I'm just saying. But not only that, if the BLM land out in quartzsite said no more unlimited staying, BLM lands, forestries are getting tired. These new nomads, some of them don't clean up after themselves. They're leaving messes. They're destroying the nature. They don't care. And 2,000 new nomads in a year. It's going to be 4,000 next year. Pretty soon, there's not going to be nomadic space. Nowhere. Nowhere. There's no BML land in the southern states, in the northern states. It's only out here in the southern states. Yep, there's forestry land, and you can stay there for free. But the fact is, it's miserable. Just saying. So consider really hard and long, and if you are going to do this lifestyle, protect yourself, because there are real physical dangers out there. Don't let them bullshit you. I know, I lived them. And in the next 3 or 4 or 5 videos, I'm going to share each and every story. I'm not going to try and run into overtime. I'm going to try and keep it as fast and simple as possible. But I want you to know what happened, what I did, and how I resolved the problem. And there's one real shocking story. Yeah, somebody I really trusted. And it took me getting my first camp working job, getting him a job, and finding my house a-rocking like it used to. So, with that being said, I wish you all a great day. I will be throwing out videos. Remember, this is going to be a little mini-series. There's going to be 3 or 4 more. I know there's at least 3 stories I can just think of off the top of my head. Probably 4. But I wanted to touch grounds first. Anything you can think of to make people step away from you. To see you as not a victim, but a victor. Because the problem is when somebody has seen you as a victim, it's pretty hard to convince them otherwise. It's pretty hard. And either you're going to leave or they're going to victimize you. Or they're going to victimize you and then you're going to leave. So you want to always give the impression that I'm not worth messing with, or you're not messing with just me, or you want to give that impression. You want that dog, you want that weapon, you want that mace, you want that club. And you want to keep your keys in a place that if you have to stick them in that ignition and get the hell out of there in a hurry, you can. If you have an outside generator, don't attach it to your bumper. Attach it to a tree, a bush, a rock, because that'll stay. Your life won't. If you've got to pull out in a hot hurry, you can come back for that generator in the morning. Just saying. Anyway, be well, be blessed, and today, make it count. Remember to love yourself, because if you don't love you, nobody's going to love you. We put out energy. Everything in this world has an energy. And if you put out a positive energy, a self-love energy, it's going to come back at you. And people around you are going to love you. You smile, they smile. So remember to love yourself. You guys have a blessed day. I'm going to try and get these videos out. Bam, bam, bam. This is something that's real important to my heart. Oh, and I got to say real quick before I end, one of the things I used for protection, a couple of them. At night when you're boondocking and you look out your window, it is so dark that if somebody is out there, you cannot see them. You know those little yardsticks that are solar? I put those around my rig. I could look out of any window and see from those sticks to my rig. So if somebody was out there, I could see them. Second, I made a video while I was out boondocking about an app called Alfred. All you need is your cell phone and an old cell phone. You do need Wi-Fi, so if you've got a hotspot on your phone, like I did, then you can use it to monitor. Now this app, Alfred, it has night vision and it has motion detection. The video goes right to the internet. It cannot be taken from you and deleted, so nobody can see it. It is secure. Somebody moves, that phone starts rolling. Now you can use up to 4 phones, if I remember correctly. Old phones, you don't have to have service, but they have to be connected to Wi-Fi or a hotspot. You can have 4 old phones put throughout your rig and monitor it right from your working phone. Or you can have it go directly to your email and view it in the morning. Or you can have an alarm that'll wake you up telling you I'm recording. It is an awesome app. It's a free app. Now you can upgrade, but I'm telling you, you have no reason to upgrade. You get everything that you need for free. That app again is called Alfred. Another thing I used for security around my rig. So light up the outside of your rig at night, people, so you can see outside. See what's going on out there. It took me just one night. Okay, I'm done. Have a blessed day.